present perfect simple versus present perfect continuous. Hi guys, Mariam's here with the English Free Shop, and in this session I'm going to talk about the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of problems with these two tenses that are sometimes very similar and confusing, especially when we want to talk about the duration of doing something. For example, I have been washing the car the whole morning, or I have washed the car. I have lived in the countryside my whole life, or I have been living in the countryside my whole life. What have you done, or what have you been doing? See, it's so confusing, but don't worry. I'm sure after watching this video, you will find the answers to all your questions. Okay, let's have a quick review to see when we use present perfect simple. If you want to know more about present perfect simple, I suggest that you watch the video that I made some time ago about present perfect. I think its name was Everything You Need to Know About Present Perfect. I leave the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you like the video. Without further delay, let's get started. So, we use present perfect simple to talk about an experience in the past without knowing or mentioning the exact time that it happened. For example, I have eaten Chinese food. It's not important when I ate it. The important thing is that I have this experience of eating Chinese food in my life, okay? Has she ever been to the USA? I don't know when, or I don't care when she went to the USA. It's not important. I don't care about it. The only information that I'm interested in is that does she have this experience in her life? Has she ever been to the US? I just want to know that, okay? The next situation in which we use present perfect is when we want to talk about a time period that is not finished yet. For example, I've written a rough plan this morning. It's still morning and the time period hasn't finished. Okay, so in this case, we use present perfect simple. Another situation is when we want to talk about a situation that started in the past and continued until now. In this case, we use for and since. And remember, usually for these situations, we can also use present perfect continuous, okay? They are quite the same. So, for example, I have studied English since I was 7 years old. Or, how long has she played basketball? The other situation in which we use present perfect is when we want to talk about something that happened in the past very close to present. And in this case, we usually use the adverbs just, already, and yet. Remember, just and already are to be used for positive sentences, and yet is for question and negative sentences. For example, she's just finished washing the car. I haven't eaten my lunch yet. Okay? The other one is to talk about the situation in the past with the result in the present. When we see the result of some action, some situation in the present, we use present perfect simple. For example, I've lost my keys. So I lost my keys definitely before in the past. I don't know exactly when or where I lost my keys, but definitely it happened in the past. But now I can see the result. How do we make present perfect simple? We use subject plus have or has plus past participle, subject plus have or has plus not plus past participle for the negative sentences, and for the questions, we use have and has plus subject plus past participles. Like, she's started the assignment, she hasn't started the assignment, has she started the assignment? Okay, now let's talk about when we use present perfect continuous. Of course, to talk about something that started in the past and continued until now, especially when we want to talk and focus on the duration of the time. For example, she has been playing the piano since morning. I want to emphasize that since morning till now, she has been playing the piano without interruption. Okay, the duration and the continuation of the action is important for us. I have been working as a teacher for 10 years. It means for 10 years I haven't done anything else but teaching. My job as a teacher continued without any interruption. How do we make present perfect continuous? Subject plus have, has plus been plus verb plus ing. Subject plus have, has plus not plus been plus verb plus ing, which is for negative sentences. And have, has plus subject plus been plus verb plus ing. For example, I've been cleaning my room the whole morning. I haven't been cleaning my room. Have you been cleaning your room? Let's talk about the main difference between present perfect continuous and present perfect simple. So we use present perfect continuous when we want to emphasize on how long we did something and the duration and the continuation of an action. For example, I've been reading for the past 2 weeks. The thing that I'm emphasizing here is that in the past 2 weeks, I have been reading, and this is the main thing that I have been doing during these 2 weeks. When we want to put emphasis on how many times we have done an action, we use perfect simple. I've read 3 books. How many books have you read? I've read 3 books. How many books have you read in these 2 weeks? I've read 3 books in these 2 weeks. Or how many times have you eaten Chinese food? I have eaten Chinese food 10 times. Or you can say, I have been eating Chinese food for the last 2 months. It means these 2 months I haven't eaten anything else, just Chinese food, okay? So when the focus is on the activity itself, we use present perfect continuous, but when the focus is on the result of the action or of the completion of the action, we use present perfect simple. So now let's go back to the question that I asked at the beginning of the video. I have been washing the car the whole morning, or I have washed the car. What's the difference and when we can use each of these sentences? Imagine I come home and I am soaking wet and I am covered with foam maybe. My mom asks me, why are you so wet? What have you been doing? So pay attention even to the question here, because it's also present perfect continuous, because it focuses on the activity. What is the activity that you have been doing that made you so wet? And the answer is, I have been washing the car the whole morning. This is the activity that I have been doing the whole morning. That's why I am so wet. So here the focus is on the activity. That's why we use present perfect continuous. Okay, but now imagine another scenario. Imagine I want to drive my mom to her friend's house and she sees my car that is so clean and says, wow, what a clean car. And I would say, yes, I have washed the car. Here the focus is on the result. The car being so clean is the result of me having washed it. So that's why here in this case we use present perfect simple. Okay, so remember that this difference is very important. When the focus is on activity, we use present perfect continuous, and when the focus is on the result, we want to talk about the result of an action, we use simple present perfect. I hope you liked this video and I hope it was useful for you. See you next time with another video.